Alrighty, I stumbled across this on the Twitter/X. African Wuhman can't understand why Africans in Ireland aren't looting and demolishing Irish-owned businesses, and suggests African countries should be offering to fly Africans out of Ireland for their own safety. Right, well, there's a video with this, so I'm gonna pop it in and we'll take it from there.
Right? And the Irish then took it to the streets. They've vandalized their cars. They've burnt their cars.
Burned and vandalized their cars. Cars that were probably paid for by the government or subsidized by the government.
They are literally looking and smelling blood.
Yeah, the native Europeans have three choices. One, they can sit back and watch as they become a minority in their own native land because of their government's plans. Two, they can take flight like that German guy. Or three, they can push back and stand for their right to exist.
That is how horrifying things have been in Ireland for immigrants. Why haven't the Africans that are on the ground found any Irish companies that are in their vicinity so that they can go and, strike in front of it or loot or try to actually demolish it?
So this black woman is perplexed as to why Africans aren't striking or boycotting or looting Irish-owned companies. I wonder why. It's probably because they're scared. If they went out in the open and started doing that while the Irish were doing their thing, I'm pretty sure the Irish would curb stomp them. So like she said, the migrants are scared. They have every right to be scared, but that being said, the Irish have every right to fend for themselves. Because all of this immigration crime wouldn't be happening if these migrants weren't let in. Completely avoidable, but for some reason the government's like, hey, let's flood Europe, the native land of white people, with everybody else.
Why? That people are being unalived in Ireland.
She says people are being unalived in Ireland. I have not heard that. I'm pretty sure if that was happening, I'd be hearing about it. It's my way of saying until I hear about it, I'm not taking her word for it, because she's probably just saying stuff to garner sympathy. Now, while I was doing research on her video there, I found this video.
So we've got migrants now celebrating the attempted beheading of that innocent Irish man, with one African woman being recorded reenacting the attack and mimicking the stabbing motions.
So yeah, she's either trying to get clicks online, or that's how depraved she is. Either or, she should be deported.
This shit is not funny.
Evidently, to her, it is. I wonder if she'll be punished for it.
Fucking piece of shit, look at her. Deport every single one of them back to the third world shithole that they came from.
And hallelujah, when I was reading the comments, I found this. She's been arrested. Now, why do I think the Gardaí, or whatever they're called, arrested her? Easy. The Irish are out in the streets, and they're mad. Having people like her doing stuff like that just makes the Irish, well, madder. Anyway, let's get back to the main video.
Their cars are being burnt down. Their houses are being burned.
Their houses. I'm gonna X to doubt on that, because I've heard a lot about the welfare system and how generous it is towards immigrants and refugees. In fact, there's a video I know of native Europeans talking about this.
I'm just fed up and tired of being pushed from pillar to post. The British people can't get away in where the immigrants can. They get everything laid on the plate for them, they get money laid out for them just when they want it, and we get nothing. Sweet and simple nothing. All I want is the best for my children and my family and my people. That's all I want. just the best for my people.
So yeah, that video was from the 70s, if I remember correct. So people have been protesting about immigration since the 70s. And the government doesn't care. They just run out the clock until these people stop protesting.
They're going to be homeless, and they cannot be caught on the streets as the immigrants, especially after what that immigrant did.
Part of me wants to feel sorry for these immigrants / refugees because they were given all kinds of promises and whatnot. But then I remember they're literally tools / weapons of Geno against the natives. And if you're asking, oh, how does that work? Simple, it goes like this. There's 8 billion people on this rock we call Earth / home. Only one is white. How is that 1 billion and all its ethnic groups expected to survive if they don't have land of their own? And that's what these tools of Geno are doing. They're taking away the livelihood, the homes, native land of the native Europeans. And now that the natives are pushing back with all this re-immigration stuff, the media, the government, they're demonizing them, calling them racers and Islamophobic and neo-Yazis. You know, oh, you want your ethnic group / race to exist? Oh, well, you're a racer.
Why haven't any of these African countries released a statement?
Simple answer, Trump. A couple months ago, Trump invited that South African leader, what's his name, to the White House, and Trump ambushed him with all the white South Afrikaners that are being genocided. If I'm not mistaken, Trump cut aid money to South Africa. How much aid money do other African countries get from America, I wonder? And not just America, but also the Western world in general. What was it, like $7 trillion in aid money has been given to Africa from the West? Yeah, another reason why African countries aren't talking about it, because they don't want to draw attention to it. Here's another reason. What if all these Africans that are moving into Europe, what if they're dregs on society in their African countries that they come from? And these African governments, countries, want to dump them on somebody else. You know, they're not their problem anymore type deal. If I'm not mistaken, Trump mentioned something similar about how Venezuela and other South American countries were dumping their unwanted people into the US. Again, that's something I heard. I'm not 100% certain on it.
Not even a single one of these African countries have released a statement. Let's take it further. Why haven't any of these African countries made sure that there's buses to the airport?
Hey, there's an idea. If all the Invisa leave Europe, all this migrant violence goes away. That's a great idea. However, those African countries, they won't do it. Because like I said earlier, all these people that are in Europe are probably people these African countries don't want. Second, why would they help Europe? I mean, Europe's only given them, what, trillions of dollars in aid, and the West. But yeah, they won't help Europe or the West.
To take their people to safety. They are literally being unalived in Ireland.
So that whole unalive thing, I'm going to exit out on that again. Why? Because until I hear about it, I'm not going to believe it. Because she's probably over-exaggerating. Now I know that Native Europeans are being unalived. That I know of. So in summary, how do you fix these migrant crimes in Europe? Easy. Deport all non-Native Europeans. Then all that migrant crime disappears. People on the left will say, oh, well, what about diversity? Diversity is another word for division. Division is another word for divide. And as the saying goes, divide and conquer. But what are the corporations conquering? Well, if you think about it, conquer is another form of control. So, what are corporations controlling? The people. Now, I know the whole coexist stuff is all part of the division plan. But for those people who say, oh, well, why can't we coexist? We literally live on the same goddamn planet. We already are coexisting. We have instantaneous communication via the internet. You could literally fly anywhere in the world, practically, in around 14 hours. We are already coexisting. Well, anywho, take care out there in Clown World.